Alright, I'm here in Coloane.
What's up, everyone?
His channel link will be down below as well.
Great.
And we're gonna be checking out that. And before we do, we're gonna take a look at this temple right here. So yeah, one of the things Izzy was telling me about sometimes is the fact that we can walk out on the roof. And we're actually gonna do a little sample roof walking before we, and we can get this nice view as well. I'll explain that as well. And then we are gonna walk down that way and start this video.
Yeah, let's go.
Hey, check it out Macau 2023. Check out some more streets. Alright, let's go walk down and check it out. But before we do, okay, so here we are at the top of Coloane. So we're way up at the top, and so there's a waterfront right there, and basically most of Coloane is right in that cluster of buildings. And then there's kind of a cemetery that goes all the way up to the top of the hills. So we're basically overlooking Coloane from up here, and that's just kind of like another little element, just so you can kind of see how things fit. And just as an aside, that's mainland China over there. University of Macau is over on the Hengqin side, and all of this is all part of Macau, and we call it Coloane, which is the most southern part of the of Macau. So, all right, another little puzzle piece of Macau for you.
This is unique. Head down and take a closer look.
Yeah, sounds good. So yeah, if any viewer knows why this is kind of unique with the fish, that would be pretty interesting for viewers and for ourselves as well.
So you know, this temple is actually related to like business or success in business. So you'll have a lot of people, even like if they want to move on in their career, yeah, they'll come specifically to this temple. Huh, okay. And they'll pray.
Yeah. So so like what kind of people is this? Like mostly tourists or locals? No,
not tourists. I think the locals are going to come to this building specifically. I haven't heard of a lot of tourists.
I think you also mentioned, we were talking about a little bit before, you also mentioned a lot of people from Hong Kong sometimes come over?
Well, I have some friends that are from Macau that are working in Hong Kong.
Oh, okay.
And I found it very unique that while they came back during Chinese New Year, they found it very important to come to this temple.
Oh, okay.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. But it's also a very unique temple because we're actually on the rooftop of it, and they have these areas for you to sit down, which is not something I have found in any other temple here in Macau.
Yeah, that's right.
And then, you know, we've talked about these, look at these massive jaw sticks. And you mentioned how they look kind of like pencils. In
yeah, a little pencil case thing. Well, and just kind of so people know, this is actually Coloane here. So this is kind of a popular temple. So we got some people down there. And then this right here is Coloane Village, all the way to the right. And then down that way is University of Macau is over there. This is part of Hengqin Village, Hengqin Island. And so that's basically the China side, the Macau side. And Macau side, the southern part is Coloane. And we also have this over here. So yeah, and if we were to continue, if we were to go down, we'll just kind of show you. So you got all these are pretty typical in Macau, most of the temples. And you just, incense goes all the way around. So if we were to go down, we'd just go right into the ground floor. But instead, we're gonna go up on our target street.
That's a lot of the beauty that Macau has, is a lot of the historical areas, right?
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's the moneymaker right there, I think, for the whole continent.
Did you want to show them?
I do. Yeah, we're gonna just pop the camera over because we
I think here's the best place.
Here. Dun dun dun! Cannons. And a wall, fortress wall. And we're gonna go down to the water. And that is our target street down that way, and we're probably gonna just like pop in places over there. And but in the meanwhile, we want to kind of show you some of the highlights, especially at the beginning part. And another highlight is this ocean. Okay, so we were here, and I just kind of want to share with you this. So we basically have this kind of beach to ourselves, more or less. But I just kind of want to show you this. There's all these kind of cool looking stuff like that. All these seashells are just like if we were at another beach in Macau, these would all be gone, probably by kids or even by collectors or all kinds of people.
I don't know why there's so many here, and they're everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, this kind of they just kind of come up right up on the shore, and
look at that. It's massive.
And it's kind of strange because I think a local would know. You know, if they're looking for these, they should know.
Right, where to look for them.
Yeah.
But I don't think most people in Macau have actually come to this.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
So this is a taste of the beach, and so what we're gonna do is kind of ground this one so you can see what's near this road that we're going to be following on. So let's pop up on the road. Okay, so we started down there, and then we just kind of did a little preview of this little castle here. Then we down into that little sand spot, and that's where we saw those seashells. And we're going to continue on and just kind of go all the way down here and just kind of see what it's all about. Look at that view. All right. So let me give you a little context. So we're walking along our water, and this is a parking lot, so people can actually park here. And it looks like it's illegal parking. I saw some legal parking as well, but you can park and just kind of overlook the water here. And if we were to take the sand part, we would have walked over these rocks, and there's a little bit more sand again, and then there'll be more rocks, and it'll be quite rocky all the way down. And then behind us is a cemetery, so we got a cemetery as well. And then that's basically the temple that we started at. So we'll just come back out to our main road here, and I'll show you a little bit of detail about the mural here for the cemetery, because it's quite beautiful. So we started down there, and there's Iz. Hey Iz.
Hello. Sorry.
And check out these beautiful murals. So we're just gonna, I'm not gonna capture all of them, but I just want to give you a taste, because they're quite these are actually really beautiful. like really good art. And I don't know how well it'll be able to be seen in the video, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on them, so we'll just kind of slowly go through each one. And if somebody actually wants to, if somebody knows a lot about this and they want to come here with me, I'll give you an invitation to please join me, and you could explain some of this in detail, because I would love to know about the art and the history here, because it's quite beautiful. And this goes all the way down. Oh, actually we got legal parking as well. So yeah, this whole cemetery.
Yeah, you notice the theme though, particularly in these two, like sort of the care of the elderly.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I've noticed some of it, some of them further down also, but I don't know what it says obviously, but obviously a big pillar of Chinese culture is, I don't know if you've ever heard this word, Kevin, called filial piety.
No.
Maybe I'm not saying it correctly.
Yeah.
But filial piety is basically like reverence to your parents and your grandparents, and so a lot of it I think maybe has to do with this.
That's interesting.
Maybe not all of them, right? But I know that seems to be a theme I picked up on.
Yeah, that's really beautiful artwork. Like, this should be more recognized, you know, like cool. I don't know anybody. So anyways, we're gonna keep on going down. We got a lot more to show you. Oh dang, I also want to, I really like these little things. I know when I show it to the audience, they're usually not so interested. Huh. But I always...
They're nice, they're everywhere in Macau.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're so common that, you know, if I put them in like the top part, you know, like in the thumbnail, you know, like it's like people are not as interested as the foreigners are. Yeah. And we got this beautiful view though anyway. So we got this beautiful shrine. We got that beautiful view, and we're gonna keep on walking down that way. So let's pop up a little bit further down. Just to give you a little background, these are like cremation parts of the cemetery, and then the cemetery kind of follows all the way down. And actually we did some other videos too where they're all up in these hills kind of everywhere. So yeah, Izzy, you want to say anything?
No, I was just pointing out that the water seems to be fairly clean. I remember, I don't know why. Usually it can be kind of murky, but it's looking pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah, you got some really beautiful views on this road.
Right, yeah, for sure. And this is like one of the most like, I don't know if your viewers have seen this street before, but I always enjoy it because there's a lot of nature on this street.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually, you know, I've driven this road a handful of times, but it's actually should be more of like a walking street.
Yeah.
It's like it's because I do see people walking it all the time.
Right.
And there's a parking lot on the other end as well.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the cemetery of Coloane, and we're going to keep on walking down. So we are going to go all the way to the end where there's a parking lot, and then we'll label it accordingly.
In the parking lot, you can actually go down some steps and see the water from there.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you've been there before?
No.
Yeah, I'll show you.
That makes sense, because there is a parking lot, and I always wondered why.
Yeah.
I thought that maybe they would hike back here. No. Oh, that smell of flowers is pretty nice right here too, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are on the street and we're gonna pop up over there. I didn't quite get that on camera, but a dog just came down off that right there. I was gonna film this kind of cool looking tree because they put all these little barriers here to try to protect it and build it up. And people are putting like fresh fruits and vegetables, so I don't know what that means, but I thought it was kind of interesting that they were doing that with this tree. It looks like they're trying to nurse it back to life and maybe bringing a little bit of nutrients, maybe. I can only guess. But this tree overlooks the same beautiful view. So this is actually like a road here. And yeah, we just saw a dog come down. Iz saw it first. I was looking the other way at the tree. But yeah, he came all the way down here and just scampered down and into the... Oh, got a long shadow there. Pretty cool. This is a nice street to be walking on. Yeah.
It's quite
oh yeah, you're right. It's kind of growing out of the earth, like this direction towards the ocean. That's crazy.
And also kind of unnerving to be under it.
Yeah. So that's a ton of dogs right there. So I think those are stray dogs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think actually it is over, not too far away. There's a there's like 2 houses over there where they take care of dogs. Oh, really? And they have a house of like about 100 to 150 dogs at any given time.
Wow, I didn't know.
Yeah. And so we think those dogs are probably part of that pack. So I think I've also heard too, one of my friends, one of my coworkers was, she would, what do you call that? Where you foster?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So she would foster dogs. So she was, I would actually take her here and she'd pick up a dog. And she was telling me that a lot of these dogs are, some of these have owners. Oh. And they kind of like stray off into Coloane, they form packs. And then eventually they'll take a picture and they'll either end up in that place or they'll die because they'll put them in the city, get them, right. Or third they'll find the owner.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a dog just forming a pack? That's kind of wild.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah, at nighttime sometimes I'll drive and I'll see little packs of dogs sometimes. And when I was with that...
Is that a dog up there? Can you see it?
Oh yeah, I was looking at us.
Look at that.
It's like a beige.
Yeah, it blends in, but I was just like, I wonder if there's dogs up there, and there it is.
Yeah, those might be little dog trails. That little X thing that looks like might be their paw prints that come down. Who knows?
Wild.
Yeah, pretty wild. Oh, it's a dead dog. So actually, I'll just put the camera here, but it looks like, yeah, he is poking the stick of the dog, so I guess he...
Yeah, I saw him stop and pull over, but I didn't really, that's kind of weird. I don't know what he's supposed to be doing.
He might be a city, I mean, he could be a, I don't know, I guess you can't really tell by the vehicle, but...
Strange.
We had a rabbit for a little while and the rabbit died and we had to dispose of the body. So we had to call the city and the city sent somebody out and they picked up the rabbit and threw it in the back of the truck.
Oh. And
it had to be disposed a certain way, like we couldn't just bury it anywhere we wanted to.
We couldn't just throw it in the trash, I would assume also, right?
Nope, yeah. Wow. I mean...
I'm sure people do, but that's not the right way to dispose of it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a little dog alley in here. Looks like a friendly dog. Looks like a pet. No collar though. It's super friendly.
I've been chased by dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, not here, but in that mountain behind One Grand Thai.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a cemetery up there also, and I was doing some jogging.
Yeah.
And I got chased by a group of dogs. It was kind of actually.
How did you handle it?
Huh?
How did you handle it?
I picked up a stick.
That's
and then I turned around and faced them.
Yeah.
It's kind of the best way because I think as you run, they like to give chase.
Yep.
So.
I read once too, like if there's some dogs that feel like they're gonna come at you, like just that's the first thing you do is you lean down and try to pretend like you got a rock. Oh. Like regardless if you do or not, like you just do that motion and they'll usually like.
They'll know.
Yeah. So it looks like we're kind of coming out. So actually our road name, which we haven't filmed yet because we hadn't seen it yet, is Aldeia Road, Estrada. So maybe what we'll do is we got the parking lot so people can park here. And there's a little opening. This is gonna show us, because he knows this spot.
Let's go. This part's pretty, it's a pretty nice view.
Yeah, actually this is a pretty perfect timing to be here too. The sun is kind of coming down a little bit, so the dang, it's funny because, you know, like as much as I feel like I know Macau and that you know Macau, and then, you know, when we go out,
finding new places.
Yeah, like you showed me this, and I was like, I didn't know this was here. And I probably do the same with you sometimes. It's like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's like I
nice
thought I knew.
To be in a new space, even though you think you've discovered it, it's like a little reward.
Yeah. Like this right here, I've never seen this before. Had no idea. I saw the parking lot. Had no idea there's a connection with with something to do next to the parking lot.
Yeah.
That looks pretty cool. So okay, so that's where we were at, that road, and we're just gonna come to conclusion by coming down here. So so let's walk down a little bit, and then I'm gonna pop the camera on and off. Just turn the camera off, and then all of a sudden I got the views.
Oh yeah, over there is this that's where the pool is. I forgot the name of that beach.
Coastline, I think. So yeah, that's Coastline Beach right there. So that's so there's there's like 3 layers of streets in that building complex right there, and then that's a beach. That's a nice public beach. It's actually one of 2. It's called Coastline right there. So we were actually like right up on that, and yeah, that's weird because I feel like I've explored a lot along this coastline, and I just never saw this here before.
There you go.
It's like it helps me put stuff together a little bit more. So we're gonna go all the way down there and follow it all the way down. All right. So they're probably going to that giant parking lot up there because there's a ton of cars up there, and I always wondered what the cars were here for. This is fishing, and this zone is not, don't capture, so capturing and consuming fish here is prohibited, is what I think it said. Whoa! Whoa! It's $1 million view right here. So yeah, actually these homes, I think actually these homes are some of the ones, there's a community right there where those dogs.
You can walk on the inside. You can walk on the inside. It's like kind of like circular. I'm sure you've been up there.
Yeah, that's where that's where that dog kennels are.
Oh,
There's 2 dog kennels.
Wow, because those houses, you'd think that'd be like a millionaire's home, basically, right?
I think the dog kennels are like in a little bit
on
more.
The inside? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, these look like they're like $1 million homes.
Yeah, look at that.
I wonder if those are like one person owns it, or if it's like, you know, family, several families.
Hard to say, but I bet it's a great view during the typhoon. That's got to be really interesting.
Yeah, just watching that wind come in, feeling the wind come in.
And then, you know, from you can actually see the trail that leads into Haksak Beach.
Yep.
Over there.
Yep, way down at the end. So that one, actually I walked it, you probably have too, but like where those houses are at.
Yeah.
And that's like, that goes all the way to those mansion row of houses at the Haksak Beach.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's actually amazing. It's amazing that I haven't
been here.
Yeah. You know,
well, there's one more place that I don't think you've been to, because I think number one, it's a little dangerous to get to, or you can take a boat. There's a cave behind the golf course.
Way over there, right? I haven't been to that. But
yeah, and it's supposed to be like a pirate cave, you know, where pirates would hide out. But I've only seen it in pictures. Yeah. I've always wanted to go, but I'm not willing to traverse, because there's a lot of rocks you got to get through to get there. Yeah. Or you can take a boat, but I haven't done that either. That's kind of cool. Maybe we can charter a boat one day and get out there. Yeah, actually I know a place. There's a guy that, I haven't seen him, but there's a South African guy that used to go to OTT sometimes. Okay. And he has a boat. Well, that'd be a fantastic. So you can see the other side. This is the other side. I didn't realize there's actually, that side is a $1 million side view. But just as an aside, I was actually telling Iz that once I think I mentioned it in the camera, I actually did take these rocks, and I didn't really fully understand where I was exactly. But now I can see that I walked that whole distance on these rocks. You walked from the beach we were at earlier to this way?
I walked all the way and I came all the way to here. So I walked to Chokvan, and I didn't really know like how far I went really. I knew it took a long time. It took me about an hour, and I was with my son, who was like maybe 6 years old at the time. Wow. And it was like pretty dangerous, and I was thinking that I walked a long ways, but now that we walked that short distance, I can see that it was just it was just a long time.
There's a lot of obstacles to get around.
Yeah. So yeah, actually this is basically like just a bunch of like these rocks here that you can see. It's basically like that, but sometimes really, really jagged with little patches of sand that I remember.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with the water and what time of day it is, and whether it's low tide or... That's
right.
Yeah, so you could actually get stranded, actually, or not be able to walk, not be able to find your way back if the high tide comes in, you know?
Yeah.
So, it's a good thing everything turned out all right.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too at the time as well. So we're gonna end it right there. So, all right.
Great. All right.
Dun, dun, dun. See you guys. Bye-bye. Hey, checking out Macau 2023. Check out some more streets. Toma cuidado la